You too.
Oh, she's gonna call it.
Meeting is called back to order. Next on the agenda is the discussion or consideration of possible dismissal of certificated employee in executive session. Do I have a motion? With no motion being heard, the board will move forward with the action items. First on the action items is presentation of statement of charges. Superintendent Lawrence, will you please present the statement of charges at this time?
Madam Vice President, members of the board, I hereby present the governing board the statement of charges against teacher Pamela J. Aister and request that the governing board take the following actions relative to the statement of charges. Number one, that the governing board conclude, after having reviewed the statement of charges, that the district has sufficient cause to dismiss Ms. Aister if the allegations are true. Number two, that the governing board vote to provide Ms. Aister with a notice of its intent to terminate her if the governing board makes the determination that her alleged conduct is cause for dismissal. Number three, that the governing board vote to place Ms. Aister on administrative leave of absence with pay in accordance with ARS 15-540, pending the outcome of the dismissal proceedings or other resolutions of this matter. And four, that the governing board designate a hearing officer to hold the hearing, hear the evidence, prepare a record, and issue a recommendation to the governing board for action. Thank you.
The administration has prepared a document entitled Statement of Charges that the administration proposes to be issued by the governing board to teacher Pamela J. Aister. The document contains charges and details the facts supporting those charges. The administration is asking the governing board to determine that the charges against the teacher, if true, are cause for her dismissal. We do not determine whether the allegations are true or false today and cannot delve into the details of this case. Rather, we only decide today whether the district would have sufficient cause to dismiss the teacher if the allegations are true. The administration is further asking that the governing board provide the teacher with notice of its intent to terminate her if the governing board makes the determination that her alleged conduct is cause for dismissal. If we vote to give the notice of intent to terminate Ms. Aister, we'll have 10 calendar days from the date she is served with the notice in which to request a hearing. The filing of a timely request shall suspend the imposition of a dismissal pending completion of the hearing. Does anyone want to make a motion as to whether or not the allegations presented in the statement of charges presented by the administration constitute cause for dismissal of teacher Pamela Aister, if true?
I move that the allegations presented in the statement of charges presented by the administration would constitute good cause for the dismissal of the teacher, Pamela Aister, if true.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Nay, and I wish to explain. Nay is based upon the fact that we do not have enough information supporting the allegations that have been put forward. Thank you.
Thank
The motion carries with a 4-to-1 vote. Next on the agenda, is there a motion to provide Ms. Aister with the notice of the governing board's intention to dismiss her from employment with the district?
I move that the governing board authorize the superintendent to provide teacher Pamela Aister with a written notice of the board's intention to dismiss her from her employment with the district at the conclusion of 10 calendar days after service of the notice, unless she requests a hearing within 10 calendar days of the date she served with the notice.
Do I hear a second? Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Once again, I vote nay on the basis that we do not have enough information to support any action. Thank you.
Motion carries 4-1. Is there a motion to provide Ms. Aister with notice of her placement on administrative leave of absence with pay effective August 11, 2014, pending the outcome of the dismissal proceeding if requested, or other resolution of this matter?
I move that the governing board place teacher Pamela Aister on administrative leave of absence with pay effective on August 11, 2014, if she requests that a dismissal hearing be held and/or until this matter is resolved through the hearing process or otherwise.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Once again, I vote nay. Thank you.
Motion carries 4-1. At this time, the governing board will now need to designate a hearing officer to hold the hearing, hear the evidence, prepare a record, and issue a recommendation to the governing board for action. Is there a motion?
I move that if the hearing officer is not selected by mutual of the parties, that the governing board designate C. Benson Hufford, Esquire, to be the hearing officer in this matter. If Mr. Hufford is not available, that the governing board designate Prudence Lee, Esquire, to be the hearing officer in this matter.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay, I don't have enough information on either one of those lawyers. Thank you.
Motion carries 4-1. Okay. Due to this being a special session, there will be no board reports tonight. Mr. Garfield?
In there is no other business before us, and move that we adjourn.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.